Welcome back to the Sideline Sorcerers. I am back.
Thank God.
I know that the listeners missed
He's alive.
my saucy, seductive voice last week, but we are back in business, ready to
Oh my
record
Yeah.
an exciting episode.
Glad to have you back. I couldn't have done it alone again. It was so lonely,
Yeah,
And I clearly misperformed. I had a horrible week in my college picks, so
that's all. You still had a winning record in the NFL. That's what really matters.
yeah, it's not what we go for here. We strive
that's
for
true.
excellence with the Sideline Sorcerers.
Yeah, I mean, I'd still say that we're downright excellent. I mean, we've got massive winning records on the year as a whole. So
I know. I mean,
you can't count us out for one tough week here and there.
Oh, yeah. Profitable is what matters.
Right, exactly. But yeah, let's get right into it. So the Week 10 recap, I went 10-4, had some big upset picks in there. Some of them came through for me, some of them did not. Rhett went 8-6 this week, so that brings our total. So I'm at 89-61 on the year. Rhett is ahead of me at 93-57. Very close. I think it's actually shockingly close that our records are.
Yeah, I mean, we've just gone back and forth every week. I just had that. I mean, the difference really is the 14-2 week I had midway through, midway through the half of the season, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty good record, though. I know a lot of people, professionals who do this for a living, have much of a lower percentage than that. So I will take that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're just, couple of Notre Dame grads recording a pod in a basement, and we're outperforming the NFL analysts.
I mean, come on. It's easy now. It's easy. But, yeah, I'm excited to get into these games. There was actually a lot of good games this week, probably one of the better weeks of the season so far. However, Thursday definitely was not one of those games. I didn't even watch any of this. I went to go see a movie, so I didn't, the movie far surpassed my, anticipation for, in terms of this game. But Carolina at Chicago, I love to see when an undrafted free agent rookie quarterback beats the number one pick from the draft. I mean, that is just incredible to me.
Yeah, dude, we love that for Tyson. That's so exciting.
He's such a good guy. I mean, he seems like such a hard worker. I mean, he set records in Division II. So, I mean, he's no schmuck. But, I mean, it is Division II after all.
And he's super humble, too. I mean, the guy, after his first win, I mean, he was talking about how, it's all about the team, and he's just doing it for the team. And such a great mentality to have.
Yeah, oh, my God. I'm not one to judge, but his dad looks so young. Do you ever see his dad, this professional arm wrestler guy?
Yeah.
He looks only 10 years older than Tyson. It's kind of nuts. I bet he had him when he was pretty young. But yeah, no, Bryce Young just hasn't impressed at all. Chicago escaped kind of this game. It wasn't an exciting game, but it was a close game. Eddie Pinheiro, who used to be the Bears kicker, missed a kick to tie it for the Panthers. So I thought that was kind of poetic. I liked seeing that.
Yeah, definitely. We've kind of seen a drop-off with Adam Thielen lately, past few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, he still threw, Bryce Young still threw for 180 yards, but it was just going to everybody. It wasn't really concentrated on him.
Yeah, I don't know. It concerns me a little bit because he was a top producing fantasy asset in the beginning of the season, and now
I know. He peaked, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I think he's still worth hanging on to. I think the Panthers will continue to grow and improve, but maybe not this week, though, going up against that Cowboys defense. I'm not sure if I would want to start
probably not the best week for him this week.
Germany game, Indianapolis at New England. Now,
Raccoon.
Yeah, this was definitely a Raccoon game. I feel bad for the Germans. We're just shipping over our shit games to them, but I don't know. Did you listen to my the whole podcast last week?
Yeah, I listened to the full thing.
I think during the podcast, as I was talking about this game, I switched from Indianapolis to New England, so that was, obviously an absolutely horrible decision. However, Mac Jones in the red zone, they're about to score. They got the momentum, and then he just throws an absolute duck of a pass right to a defender. And he gets picked off on the 2-yard line. It was horrible. It was disgusting. I literally, as soon as I turned the game on, is when that happened. So I was just oh, kill me now. And then they put in Bailey Zappi.
I was just about to ask that. Yeah. So I did not watch this game, but I saw some sort of post-game interview where it was Mac Jones talking about how, he got yanked because he was playing so poorly, right? And so
he got yanked for sure. Okay. But it's not like Bailey Zappi, came in with any heroics. He went for a fake spike and then threw in the triple coverage and got picked off. I mean, I don't think they had a chance. They didn't have any timeouts, and they had to get a touchdown with a minute 40 left. But it was just a weird game.
Yeah, I mean,
Gardner
both of
Minshew played all right. I mean, he had the pick too, but yeah, it sucks. Mac Jones, I really thought. I mean, this is a good opportunity for him to bounce back. I mean, this is not a good Colts defense. They've been lit up a lot over the last few weeks. He goes out there and has a horrible. I mean, actually though, he was pretty accurate. He was like 15 for 20, throwing a pretty good efficiency. But that one pick is what just nailed him in the coffin. And turns from like a decent, good, clean game into a bad game.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that Mac Jones and Bailey Zapp, they are not the answer at QB long term. I mean, Patriots have just been struggling ever since Brady left. I feel like to have a good QB. So I don't know.
They need to go.
Yeah, they've got some rebuilding to do.
Drake May or whoever they're able to get through the draft in terms of a quarterback.
Yeah.
Next up, Cleveland at Baltimore. Baltimore has just turned into the Falcons of 2020 where they just choke away games. They choked away the one to Pittsburgh. They choked away a lot of games last year. They choked away this game. I mean, they were up pretty big in this game, and they let Deshaun Watson just pick them apart in the second half. I think he was 14 for 14. It was kind of nuts because he had a horrible first half. Lamar has a couple turnovers, pick six included. And yeah, that's a recipe for losing a game, even though Cleveland missed an extra point. So, I mean, they were trying to give it back to you. Right. But yeah, I can't believe it. I really cannot believe. I guess Cleveland just wanted revenge from when Baltimore went into their place and beat them with the backup quarterback, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. So keeps that division tight, which is exciting.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to give a little shout out to our boy Kyle Hamilton with that nice pick six to start the game.
Yeah, no.
So that was nice. Nice way for the Ravens to start. I'm impressed that Cleveland was able to come back here. It's just those division rivalry games, man.
Never know what could happen.
Yeah, those ones just always tend to be closer. But I mean, this entire division is like all like ready to like try and be in the playoff hunt here. I mean, you got
Pittsburgh is fool's gold. They just happen to have like the easiest schedule in all of the league.
Right. And then like Cincinnati, of course, is always going to be in the hunt too.
Oh, yeah.
So like
they're good.
I just like don't see how this division is going to play out here. I mean, I feel like Pittsburgh has to go. Like
Pittsburgh will eventually hit a roadblock when they have to play the Bengals twice and both of these two teams once more.
But I don't know, like, could feasibly both like the Browns and like the Bengals take wild card spots?
I mean, we've seen it happen a couple years ago with the NFC West.
Yeah.
When the Rams, Niners, and Rams all made the playoffs.
The Rams, Niners, and who? Oh, the Seahawks,
Rams,
maybe?
Niners, and the Seahawks.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Wait. No. I think it was the Cardinals, Rams, and Niners made the playoffs. I think the Seattle team was really bad that year. I think they only won like 5 games. Yeah, 3 teams from that division made the playoffs, I think,
that's
in 2020
be rare.
or 2021. I think it was 2021.
Okay.
Because that's when the Rams and Seattle played each other in the playoffs. Rams beat... No, okay, let me start over. 2021, Rams play the Cardinals in the playoffs. Rams easily take care of the Cardinals. The Niners go on the road to the Packers, and they take care of the Packers. No, wait. They beat the Cowboys, and then they beat the Packers, and then they ended up in the championship game with the Rams, in which they lost. Rams go to the Super Bowl and win that against the Bengals.
Yes.
There it is.
Wow,
that's what happened.
That was quite the maze of games.
It just took me a while to get to it, but I guarantee that's exactly what happened.
100%. Good memory there, dude.
Thank you. Next up, San Fran, speak of the devil. Oh, wait.
Green Bay and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, let's do that Raccoon game first. Jordan Love having a good game, then decides to throw a couple interceptions to seal the defeat for him. I just don't think either of these quarterbacks are the answer. This is another horrible game.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh and Green Bay have happened to have pretty easy schedules. Green Bay is not capitalized. Pittsburgh has. I mean, man, they got to play. I mean, Matt Stafford went out in that game, so they got to feast on Brett Rippon for half the game against the Rams. They got Will Levis making his second career start. Now they get Jordan Love. Of course, they got lucky. I mean, they beat Deshaun Watson when he was fumbling the ball all over the place. And, you know, they had a couple other games where I thought they got, you know, very fortunate in terms of the way it panned out. So I don't think this says anything. I don't think these teams are very good.
I totally agree. I mean, these guys are just not sustainable on offense. I don't think they're very effective leaders at QB. I just don't see them.
I like Kenny Pickett too. Like, he had me going that one year in college. I mean, he had this fake slide. I mean, he was cool and everything, but he just looks bad, dude.
Yeah, I don't think he's an NFL caliber guy.
No. But they'll stick with him. Like, I guarantee. I think Green Bay will move off Jordan Love faster than Pittsburgh moves off Kenny Pickett. San Fran at Jacksonville. Saw this one coming a mile away. It did worry me, though. Jacksonville coming off a bye at home, too. But I really did not see Jacksonville getting just whacked like they did, though. Like, I thought San Fran would win, but this looked like the best game on the slate. Ended up being the worst game on the slate. Brock Purdy looked incredible. I think Trevor Lawrence ended up with 3 turnovers, 2 or 3 turnovers, maybe a fumble, a couple of interceptions. So it was a Josh Allen type of day for him.
I just don't know where it comes from. Like San Fran, like I picked them like every week all season so far. And like they let me down 3 weeks in a row, losing these games that they really should have won. And then they're in such a tough matchup here. I get it. Like they came off a bye, they're well rested, Debo's back, but to just put an absolute panda quit, a shellacking on Jacksonville, like a solid team. Like
I know.
Like definitely like top 50%, arguably like top 10 or so.
Jacksonville's a top 10 team.
Yeah. So like I just don't get where that comes from. Like
Jacksonville could be the number 1 seed in the AFC very easily.
I mean, I don't think that they're truly.
I'm not saying they're the number 1 team in the AFC, but they could be. Their division's pretty easy. They're going to sweep the Colts. They already swept the Colts. They're going to sweep the Titans. They're probably going to win one against the Texans. They already lost one to the Texans.
Right.
Whereas, we see what's going on with the Bills and the Dolphins. We see what's going on in the NFC or the AFC North. I mean, the Chiefs, they look all right. They could lose this week. So, I mean, Jacksonville, even though they lost this one, they're in prime position to be at least the 2 seed.
I mean, I agree. Like, they definitely are like going to be up there. I just don't think that they're great. And I'm surprised that San Fran, like, put such a pounding on. Like, they're a solid team. They're not top tier. Right. But just where is this coming from out of San Fran? I mean, you said you saw this coming.
Defensive teams always are better, like, off of a bye than offensive ones. And Jacksonville has an offensive coach. I know, Kyle Shanahan for the Niners is an offensive guy, but the identity of the Niners is defense. And they just had a really tough stretch. I think they got a little bit broken morale-wise against Cleveland. I mean, they missed a couple of field goals. I mean, they should have won that game easily. And then against Minnesota, Minnesota is a really good team. We're kind of finding out right now. So that's not a bad loss. We know the Bengals are a really good team. So, I think Jacksonville is a little bit kind of like Pittsburgh, but, they're better than that. It just...
Yeah, no, that's a good comparison,
if you look at them, they couldn't put up a touchdown against the Chiefs. They beat the Bills in London, which is their, home territory for the Jaguars. And we know the Bills aren't even that good anymore. So it's like, this is the part of the year where you kind of like know where everyone's at. I think you kind of get a clearer perspective on like who's who.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
New Orleans at Minnesota. This one was a surprise for me. Like I thought Josh Dobbs, I know he played great when he came in against Atlanta. New Orleans has a really good defense. I'm surprised that he was able to perform so well. And they just got up. They jumped the Saints and put them in a hole. Saints tried to come back. Jameis Winston threw a couple picks, a couple touchdowns too, a couple 2-point conversions. I think he just had 2 of everything. 2 picks, 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions.
What a guy.
I know, what a guy for real. But yeah, Derek Carr got shellacked himself, went out of the game. I don't think, if Derek was still in the game, they would have come back and won anyways. Minnesota just, put him in a hole and they held him there. So I'm impressed. We talked about this before we started filming today, but Josh Dobbs is just such a good story. He's a cool guy. And I'm really happy he's having success. We thought he was having success in Arizona. he's having triple that in Minnesota on a short time frame.
I just cannot believe what he's been able to do there. I know I wasn't here for the pod last week, but I wanted to talk about how Dobbs comes in and just leads his team to a victory after being on the roster for 3 days or a little bit more than that or whatever. It's just mind-blowing what this guy is capable of.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah, I didn't even know until today that he got a 4.0 in aerospace engineering.
Yeah, he's really a rocket scientist. That's
just unbelievable. What a guy. Good for him. He certainly deserves to have success in the NFL for what he's gone through.
Absolutely. He's been in the league for a while, so it's great to see him get some love.
Yeah.
Houston at Cincinnati could be one of the better games of the week here. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I watched a bunch of highlights from this game. I wish I got to see more of it. I have a couple thoughts. There was no defense really played in this game. The teams each went up and down the field on themselves. Either if there weren't those turnovers, CJ Stroud had 3 turnovers in this game, 1 pick, 2 fumbles, and one of those fumbles was like in the red zone. It was on like the 5 or 6 yard line. Of course, Joe Burrow threw 2 picks. So after, like, if you take those 5 turnovers away, like, this game is like uber high scoring. Like, both of these defenses just got lit up. I mean, they made plays and, got those turnovers, but really, it was nuts how just each quarterback moved the ball down the field. Secondly, Joe Burrow I love Joe Burrow. He's my favorite current quarterback in the league, but he threw a couple boneheaded picks. First one overthrew Drew Sample. So, I mean, that one was a little bit better than his second one, where he's rolling right, throws across his body to the end zone, and, I mean, he just gets picked off easily. I mean, you just got to throw that ball away. You're in field goal territory.
It's like a Josh Allen type move.
It absolutely was a Josh Allen type move, and Joe Burrow is not as physically gifted as Josh Allen, so he's got to be a little bit more careful. I mean, Joe Burrow is a gunslinger at heart, but you're already in field goal territory. It's a close game. You got to take care of the ball a little bit better and take the 3 points. They're dealing with, like, the Texans have this backup kicker in.
Right.
They're liable to miss a kick. I mean, so, like, the 3 points really meant a lot to me. The first pick wasn't as bad, but I just, oh my God, I can't believe, I mean, CJ Stroud had a bad pick himself that kept Cincinnati alive. CJ Stroud doesn't throw that pick. This game is not even close. So, I mean, yeah, it was a good game. I'm really happy. Like, I think CJ Stroud's incredible. I can't believe he completes, like, 2 passes over 20 yards within like 42 seconds left to get them in field goal range. That was really impressive. But I think, Joe Burrow kind of gave this game away. Of course, Tyler Boyd dropped a touchdown in the end zone, which that also hurts. I mean, that I think is the difference in the game. But I don't want to put it all on him because Joe Burrow made some mistakes as well.
Right.
So, yeah, at the end of the day, just kind of a weird game. I mean, good defense, bad defense, good quarterback play, bad quarterback play.
I think it's time to start talking about CJ Stroud being in the MVP race.
I mean, it's certainly possible. That'd be unheard of for a rookie to win. I don't think that's happened in a long, long time. But
he feels to me like the most valuable player on that team by a long shot.
Oh, I mean, he's definitely the most valuable player on the Texans. Yeah, I'm not sure if he is the most valuable player in terms of the entire league for each of their respective teams. Like, I think that, oh man, we need to see how the rest of the year plays out. If Mahomes can accrue some more stats, he definitely is the definition of the MVP, though, because of how bad his receivers are. Josh Allen had it. I mean, he's playing himself out of the conversation when he has 3 turnovers every game.
Right.
Joe Burrow is kind of in the conversation. Tua is kind of in the conversation. He just can't win the big game. Jalen Hurts is turning the ball over. Jared Goff, kind of sneakily, he's kind of right there,
he's
man.
A good candidate.
He's kind of right there. So it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out. But I think ultimately it's going to come down to who has the best numbers and kind of mash that with record. Like, if CJ Stroud can make the playoffs and maybe even win a game.
I mean, so what was the Texans' record last year? Didn't they have 2 wins or maybe 3?
I think 2 wins and a tie.
Okay. Yeah, something weird like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they could be in the right now. They're in the playoffs.
I know, yeah. But I'll tell you that I think for sure their coach will win Coach of the Year, D'Amico Ryans. He'll definitely win Coach of the Year. So they're getting rewards. But I think Justin Herbert's also a good candidate. I mean, he just put up 4 touchdowns. I mean, without Justin Herbert, that team is really bad. I mean, it's just, see, the problem is with people like Justin Herbert, and it could even end up being like CJ Stroud's problem. His team around him is not good enough to get them enough wins to make it look respectable.
Maybe.
Like Jared Goff and Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, they're going to have plenty of wins behind them. So their stats actually meant something. Like CJ Stroud, I know he's 5-4 right now. He's looking good. He's in the playoffs, but he's still liable. They're still liable to lose a bunch of games here and not make the playoffs. So it's all right, great. You threw 30 touchdowns in your rookie season, but you finished 7-9 or 7-10. What does that really get you?
I mean, I guess, but also Herbert's got a ton of talent on that team. I mean, they've got Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler. That's a phenomenal combo. And then they had Mike Williams, who, he went down.
Well, that's the thing, though. Mike, so he has no like number 2 receiver. Like I don't love Quinn Johnson or that
Josh
Guyton
Palmer.
guy. Yeah, I think Josh Palmer's also been banged up.
Yeah.
Austin Eckler has not been running the ball great. He's
He's a
averaging
receiving back, though.
he is, yeah. I mean, he does not like they don't have much of a run game at all, and their defense is horrible, and their coach is a joker. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. I think at the end of the day, Tua had a bye, but Tua is still very much so in the conversation as well. I don't think he hasn't won the big game yet, so it's
That's
a really
true.
interesting conversation.
Yeah.
It would be if you knew more about college football. I mean, we could talk about the Heisman, which is basically the MVP for college football.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on with that. But anyways, we need to move on. Tennessee at Tampa Bay. Tennessee, I think, got an early lead here, but as I kind of said, Will Levis, he just shot his wad in that first game. 4 touchdown passes, hasn't had one since. So, I mean, he's not like horrible, but I don't think he's the answer at all. Like I talked about last week, he's not better than Ryan Tannehill right now. They have to play him because he had such a stunning performance.
Right.
But yeah, I'm happy for Tampa. Baker Mayfield played really good. Good to see Mike Evans get some action. And yeah, I mean, I think Tampa Bay absolutely needed this win, especially when they blew that to Houston last week.
Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to share about this game, man. This was just like Tampa took care of business. Yeah, it was 20-6, right?
Something like that, yeah. Detroit at the Chargers, probably the best game of the week actually here. The Chargers, I think they scored on like 5 of their last possessions, touchdowns that is. I mean, Justin Herbert had 4 touchdown passes, 1 pick. A lot of yards, not quite as many yards as Jared Goff though. And Jared Goff only had 2 touchdowns, but he was far more efficient, didn't turn the ball over. They ran all over the Chargers, who had been pretty good stopping the run recently. And I'm happy for the Lions. I mean, I love that play call. I think it was like 4th and 2 or something. Yeah, 4th and 2 in Chargers territory. They could have kicked a field goal and taken the lead and given the ball back to the Chargers with like a minute and a half left. But no, they go for it. Super risky. I wouldn't have probably done it. I don't have the balls to do that. They get it, and then they're able to ice the game away that way. That was just crazy, man. Like, the Lions are looking scary, and I'm just so happy to see them having success after going through such a drought.
Yeah, dude, this was a wild offensive game. This 41-38 finish was just absolutely ridiculous here. But yeah, Lions came in and took care of business, and another Brandon Staley mess up here. I mean, he's just got to do better.
Yeah, I mean, he was the defensive coordinator on the Rams for a good amount of years, like when they went to the Super Bowl. Not the second time when they won it, but the first time when they lost to Brady. I mean, they had a really good defense under him, and now, I mean, their defense is horrible there. So it's like, what happened, dude? So yeah, I mean, good game, and yeah, I mean, the Chargers are struggling. They need to rack up some wins here, though. Otherwise, their season's almost already done. We have Atlanta at Arizona. Really thought Kyler would come off a little rustier. I'm always giving Atlanta way more credit than they deserve. I picked them a lot this year. Picked them against Tennessee, picked them against Minnesota, and they've let me down every time, including this week. Kyler didn't look great, but he did enough. Led a game-winning drive at the end there. Of course, Taylor Heineke goes down with like some sort of hamstring injury. Big bad Desmond Ridder comes in, and I mean, it's just bad. I mean, Arthur Smith needs to get fired here. That's the moral of the story. Bijan Robinson goes off. There's that. But yeah, I think the Arizona Cardinals are just going to be a little bit more interesting now with Kyler Murray back. Not to say that Josh Dobbs was not making that team interesting, but I mean, Kyler Murray is just Kyler Murray. So
yeah, I was a little excited to see Kyler back in business.
Yeah, I really did not think they would play him at all this year because of the fact. I mean, what are they playing for at this point? They only have like 7 or 8 losses.
Right.
I thought they would just shut him down for the entire year to maintain his trade value, or at least not to give anyone else any new ideas. Because if Kyler comes out and doesn't play great for the remainder of the season here, they have the number 1 pick. What do? I mean, if you probably are going to want to draft Caleb Williams, quarterback out of USC, and you're going to want to have to trade Kyler Murray, but now his value's decreased because he just played bad over the last half of the season. So I really thought they wouldn't have played him at all, but I mean, I hope he plays all right. I'm picking him this week to have a big game against Stroud.
Dude, I don't like that pick one bit, but we'll get to that in a little bit here.
Next up, we have the Giants at the Cowboys.
Who saw this one coming, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is nuts, dude. It was a 17.5 point spread. Dallas easily covered, even though the Giants put some points up on the board later on. Tommy DeVito somehow ends up with 2 touchdown passes, but kind of bothered me. In one of my fantasy leagues, I need Dallas to make some sort of play here, like sack him 3 times or have like a pick 6 or a fumble 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead, they let up a touchdown to Tommy DeVito. But I mean, yeah, Dak's been playing out of his gourd for the last few weeks. C.D. Lamb, Brandon Cooks. Just been going absolutely crazy. Rico Dowdle got a lot of action in this game.
Can we talk about how Tony Pollard seems to be the handcuff to Rico Dowdle these days?
I know. I mean, we always thought Zeke was the handcuff to Tony Pollard.
Bro, where has Pollard been all season? He's not doing anything with the ball. Dallas puts up 7 touchdowns in a game, and Pollard doesn't have one.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of nuts. It's like everyone said they need to get Ezekiel Elliott out of there because he was holding back Pollard, and Pollard deserved to be the starting running back.
Right.
Doesn't really look like that. I feel like he's definitely more of a number 2. And, I mean, I'm glad Rico Dowdle got some action, provides some more fantasy value, I guess, than someone you could grab on the bench.
I'll be picking him up this week.
For sure. Washington at Seattle ended up being a pretty good game as well. Sam Howell, man, he looks really good along with Stroud. I mean, Sam Howell's basically a rookie quarterback. He only made like 1 start last year. I mean, he's throwing a ton of touchdowns. He's had a 4 touchdown game. He's had like 3 touchdown games. I think he leads the league in passing yards.
He's just always good for like a nice 300-yard game.
I mean, yeah, he's a monster out there. It also has to do Washington struggles to run the ball. I really didn't think this game would be that close. Geno Smith had a really good game as well. Just, another exciting game. Could have easily gone to overtime. This one I really wanted to go to overtime. Actually, I was looking at, both of these games. This one, the Dallas Cowboys, were those like afternoon games, and it was the decider for my fantasy league. I either needed Dallas's defense to make a big play, score a touchdown, or I needed Tyler Lockett to go off and off and off. And I was like, all right, because the Seattle Seahawks were up, I was like, I need the Commanders to tie the game. It was like 26-19 at this point. And they did tie the game, right? And I was like, no way. But then the final drive, DK Metcalf was the only receiver that made a difference. So Tyler Lockett didn't matter. But yeah, I mean, good game. Glad to see 2 quarterbacks play well. Like, both of them really had good games.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way Sam Howell's been performing, and that was the motivation for picking Washington last week. I know you did not. No. I know you didn't like that pick.
I didn't like
all.
that pick, but I mean, it could have easily happened. So next up, we have the Jets at Vegas. Vegas with a little comeback here. Only touchdown scored by our fellow Notre Dame alum. I don't even think he graduated, but Michael Mayer.
Yeah.
First touchdown of his career. And the only touchdown in this game. This was definitely a low-scoring one. Pretty good defenses, pretty abysmal offenses. And yeah, I mean, Zach Wilson throwing the pick there in the red zone, I believe it was, at least deep into Vegas' territory. I didn't really care to watch much of this game.
I did not watch it at all.
I mean, like, all these primetime games just suck, man. I mean, I know they're close games usually, but they're not good. Like, you're watching, like, you're watching backup quarterbacks. Like, Zach Wilson is going to be a career backup. He's going to end up like he's got this year, the remainder of the season, and then he's gone, right? He's gone.
Yeah.
He'll likely never see the field again unless someone gets hurt. Aiden O'Connell, you're cute, but you're bad, dude. You're not going to have anything going on. You're out of Purdue, dude. So get out of here. But, I mean, I'm honestly surprised Vegas was able to come back and win this game because it just seemed like whoever, kicked them as many field goals, was going to win the game.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm glad Vegas came back because it helped me out in terms of some of my bets. But
yeah, dude, that's what matters is that your bets hit. Who cares about the?
Yeah, no, I was really like rooting. I had Aiden O'Connell in multiple bets under like it was 196 and then 200 yards. And
that's so cerebral, bro.
I was like, dude, Justin Herbert only threw 136 against this Jets defense.
Yeah.
There's no way a rookie quarterback's gonna come in and throw for over 200 yards.
That's a good pick.
But then I also had Josh Jacobs on the 25 receiving yards, so it was kind of working against each other there. But I just thought he was going to check the ball down.
Yeah.
They did not do that, though.
Damn,
but yeah, no, it felt good to – because I did the prize picks. Dude, this was my prize picks lineup.
Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell under 200 yards. Russell Wilson over 210, did not hit, was 18 away. Josh Allen under 270, easily hit.
Not even
close. So,
yeah.
I do my flex play. If 2 out of 3 hit, I still get paid out. So I've never hit 3 of 3. So I mean the flex play always works out.
Is it is it profitable though? I thought it's like only 0.4 times your wagers that what you get back.
I get 1.25 or something.
Oh, no way.
So it's not.
It is profitable.
I mean, it's profitable, but it's
okay.
certainly. If I got 3 right, it's 2.25. So I'm doubling and then some. If I selected like the confident one, like I know all 3 are going to hit, I don't want the flex play, then you're tripling and then some your money, I think. But
the flex play, if you're getting 2 right and then
I consistently get 2 right almost every time.
Oh, that's
so.
A
I mean,
good strat,
and I've
bro.
never ever gotten 3 of 3. So it's like, why would I ever not do the flex play? Like if I do get 3 of 3, I get 2.25, but I don't mind,
Yeah.
a little 25% profit on that.
Dude,
So I'll take
that.
it.
Yeah.
Here's one we didn't see coming though. Denver at Buffalo. I really kind of wanted to take Denver in the points though, because Denver is trending up, Buffalo trending down.
I don't like that, dude. I mean, Buffalo is one of my favorite teams just because I love Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, I like him a lot too.
That's really upsetting me. I mean, Denver beat the Chiefs, and now they're out here beating Buffalo.
I know, dude.
Where's this coming from?
Shit.
They let up 70 points to Miami, and then they're out here beating supposedly one of the best teams in the league. I mean,
What a
Chiefs
turnaround.
I mean, yeah. This is just nuts. I mean, who could have seen this coming?
Russell Wilson playing sneakily good right now. I mean, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, he's my
good
start
amount of
this
rushing
week.
yards. I mean, I started him a bunch early on when he was productive, and then he had that kind of trough in the middle of the first half of the season. But I mean, he's just efficient with it. Like, he's super accurate. He's not doing anything crazy. He's definitely a little bit older. He's not going off the wall, running all over the place. But I mean, he got it done. Didn't turn the ball over. Cortland's son turned the ball over, but he didn't. He let Josh Allen do all that. I mean, I did say this after week 1. Josh Allen has regressed. I kind of rolled that back in after he threw 4 touchdowns on the Raiders, 3 against or whatever, 5 total against Washington. I kind of rolled it back in, but he's regressed, man. He's regressed.
Dude, these guys, they're like the U.S. economy. Like, they go through peaks and the troughs. Like, sometimes they're recessions, and then other times you're in the bull market.
But Josh Allen's a little scary, dude. Like, he's, like, investing in crypto. Because, like, I'm worried about him, like, long term. I mean, the bro is, like, he runs a lot. He gets hit a lot. He feels a little Cam Newton-y.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he just needs to play smarter. Like, I feel like he knows what the best thing to do is in situations, and then he kind of tries to get cute with it and make a game-saving play, which is not the move. Like, Josh, you gotta do better. You just have to.
He's so talented. He thinks he can do. I mean, and he can do everything. Yeah. But, like, not always will that work out.
Right. I mean, this team should not be 5-5 right now.
I mean, they're tied with the Raiders.
I mean,
who else is 5-5? The Colts, dude, with backup quarterbacks. I mean, it's laughable.
What is that, bro?
It's bad.
I mean, come on.
That's why they had to fire Ken Dorsey, their offensive coordinator, even though I don't think it's fully his fault.
Yeah.
But I mean, someone had to account for that because that's just bad.
Right.
I do think they have a get right. I think they're gonna pound the Jets. I think Zach Wilson should probably flee. I mean, I don't think Zach Wilson survives this game against the Bills. The Bills are angry right now.
Yeah.
They're going to come. I mean, they're at home. The Jets beat them early in the year. They're mad. They want revenge. And
dude. They're hungry.
I mean, this is a must-win for the Bills. I think they really severely screw up the Jets, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
is
it's
this
going to be.
one of your best bets this week?
I didn't.
Oh, it is. It is.
Did
yeah.
it?
Yeah, you did. I like that bet.
Good thing. My younger self. Because at first I was like, oh, did I really? All right. So, yeah, I mean, I just think the Jets are going to be in trouble. Anyways, we'll get to that. Week 10 start and sits. I hate doing this, honestly. I don't like that we do this. Starring Calvin Ridley. Good job. It was definitely a sit. But I know I picked San Fran. I just didn't think it was going to be such a beatdown.
Yeah.
Drake London, I guess he was healthy, but he didn't really look too good out there. 3 receptions, 34 yards or whatever it was. Gus Edwards, guy touchdown, but other than that, wasn't too crazy. But I do say if he gets me a touchdown or 6 or more points, I'm happy. So that was probably a bad look for me.
It's all good there. I said to start Evan Ingram and Taysom Hill, which neither of those did.
Yeah,
anything,
and I
bro.
did. I started Taysom Hill in 2 of my leagues, so thank you.
All right, well, dude, Taysom has been an absolute lock the last 3 weeks. I mean, he's putting up double-digit numbers. I mean, he had
especially when he has the chance to throw the ball too.
Right.
It's like a cheat code.
Yeah.
Like I remember when they finally designated him in fantasy as a tight end as well.
Right.
Because originally, I mean, he was only a quarterback, even though he was doing the same stuff as he is now.
Yeah.
Catching, running, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they made him tight end, I was like, holy shit, I mean, he's going to be the best tight end in the league.
Yeah.
But their usage of him is so spotty and inconsistent. And maybe they do that intentionally because, he goes off a few weeks.
And then other times
everyone's looking out for Taysom. Like, people knows, like, Taysom's in the game. Like, someone's up. Something fishy in the air. So they have to kind of put him on the back burner for a little bit. But a couple good sits, though, for you.
Yeah, finally I got some right because I said to sit Calvin Ridley, and Ridley didn't do jack squat, as per usual has been Ridley's trend. I mean, he started off week 1 with an awesome game. We thought he was going to be wide receiver 1, and dude, absolutely is not. Kirk is easily wide receiver 1 on this Jacksonville team. Trevor Lawrence hardly looks Ridley's way. And then I also said to sit Zach Moss, which is a good pick. JT has absolutely took over the Colts backfield.
Yeah, that was a good one because I started Zach Moss.
Okay.
It's so fucky, but
yeah, I mean, I would not even I don't think Zach Moss is the play unless JT gets injured. I would not start Zach Moss at all for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I had to start him out of necessity though.
Yeah, that's fair. But my best bets though, dude, I finally had a good week with my best bets.
Humongous week, dude.
Those almost never come through. Picked multiple upsets this week and those clutched up. So we had Minnesota and Tampa Bay money lines, which were both, I believe they were both underdogs. Was Tampa?
I don't think Tampa was.
Oh, no, they weren't. Okay. Oh, they were slightly favored. But yeah, I mean, still, they came through there. And then Jacksonville money line did not hit. Oh, well, the other upsets came through. Houston and Cleveland, +6 and +6.5. I love those picks. And, dude, you could have just taken their money line because they both won outright.
Yeah, I mean, the Cleveland one, I'm sure you were like, oh, well, there's another one gone. But they came back for you, dude. That was nuts. That game, Baltimore just handed that one away on a silver platter.
Yeah.
Anyways, for my bets all over the place, Vegas came back for me and covered the 2-point spread barely. Actually, I mean, they won straight up. So, yeah, they covered that easily. Atlanta lost Arizona on a final field goal, so that was not ideal. Of course, New Orleans lost to Minnesota by a lot, 8 points, so that was not ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know I had said last week in the pod, I'm undefeated for my Thursday and Friday night college football picks, so I kind of forced one on myself.
And you jinxed
it. And I fucked it, yeah. I mean, Wyoming got manhandled. I watched actually a good amount of this game, Nevada, Las Vegas, and Wyoming had so many opportunities. I mean, Nevada, Las Vegas was punting. They turned it over. Wyoming just couldn't get anything going. Turned it over themselves. Not ideal. Boston College, +1.5 at home against Virginia Tech. Just a weird game. Virginia Tech gets pounded by Louisville, and then they go out and pound Boston College. Again, Boston College was up early in this game. They had opportunities, but they just couldn't stop Virginia Tech. These middling ACC programs are so hard to guess. I mean, Virginia can go out and beat anyone. Virginia Tech can go out and beat anyone. Boston College here. You have Miami, NC State, Clemson. They're all capable, and they just all kind of like swap roles every week. It's so hard to bet for and against. Michigan -4.5 at Penn State came through for me pretty easily. I like that one a lot, especially since Jim Harbaugh got suspended. Michigan is so fired up right now. You should just probably pick them to win the national title right now. They're probably +500 or so. Washington -9.5 at home against Utah. Almost hit. You should have seen this, dude. Washington dropped this defender. Like, he had I think it wasn't a pick six. It was like a fumble.
Yeah.
The defender drops the ball at the 3-yard line before going into the end zone to score. I'll have to show it to you. But, you're running. You're no one's around you. And you're about to score if you step another couple feet.
Oh, I think I did see that. And
ball.
So it's ruled a fumble, right?
Yeah, and then the other team recovered it. Yeah. So then they're coming out of their 3-yard line.
I think just Deshaun Jackson did that years back on the Eagles. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that. I think that's just one of his classic mistakes. Yes,
bro,
I've seen that though.
What are you doing, dude? You just literally gave
don't
away
celebrate
a touchdown.
early. Yeah, you can't do that.
That pissed me off so much because they would have scored.
Right.
I think Washington also missed a field goal here. Mm-hmm. Anywho, West Virginia +13 was looking kind of good. Oklahoma just pulled away and really hammered them in the latter half of that game. Although I do love this one, USC +15 at Oregon. Remember I said you can't give that many points to any of these teams in the Pac-12. So that came out to be true. Fresno State -1. My rationale here, I just can't believe Fresno State let themselves get manhandled by San Jose State, who has had a kind of rough year. I don't know. Again, San Jose, Fresno State, just is such a weird team to me. Like, they'll go out and win games, and then they'll struggle, like, in other, I don't know. Like, they struggled against Wyoming, I think, a few weeks ago, which I was surprised about, too. Iowa -1 at home against Rutgers. That one easily hit. And remember I said this in the short, Rutgers wouldn't score 7 points. Well, they didn't score any points, so really love that. Minnesota +1 at Purdue. Purdue hammered them. I mean, their offense just came out of nowhere. Again, some of these Big Ten programs like Northwestern, Illinois, Purdue, Indiana, Minnesota, they can kind of beat anyone at any given day. Like, no one separated themselves. So odd to me. Anyways, sorry about those, but we're going to have a better week. Let's get into our Week 11 picks. Thursday Night Football, Cincinnati at Baltimore.
It's a good primetime
first
game.
One of the year. Amazon, I know they got that Bezos cash, but I mean, this is the first game of the year where they're actually going to make a profit, because so far they've been losing their ass on these games. Ain't no one watching the Bears and the Panthers and the Bears and the Commanders. The Bears are just like, they're undefeated on Thursday. There must be something about the Amazon Prime, but
I guess so.
I'm taking Cincinnati here. I probably shouldn't. I'm probably betting with my heart too much, but Baltimore obviously won the first game in Cincinnati by 3 points when Joe Burrow was hurt with his calf. I mean, he played, but he just didn't look great. So I'm going to take Cincinnati. They really need this game, and I have really no other reason. I just really want Cincinnati to win. I love Cincinnati. I think actually, I haven't told you this, but I might go to a Cincinnati game.
No way.
December 16th, yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, we have like this wedding we have to go to on Cincinnati.
Yeah.
The day before, so I was like,
oh, you totally should go then.
Might as well just go. It's against the Vikings at home, so no brainer. I love Joe Burrow, so I might as well go to that.
Nice, bro.
So I hope that game is meaningful.
Yeah.
And therefore, they need to win this one.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I like Cincinnati here as well. I'm going to roll with them. Both teams, I think, are going to be coming back hungry after tough losses this past week. Both of them, very close losses. But, I think it's going to be tough for Baltimore to win 2 straight against Cincinnati.
Yeah, I mean, they got swept by them last year. And I think the year before, they also got swept.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's just got Baltimore's number.
Yeah, so I like the Cincinnati pick a lot this week.
I mean, you look at Baltimore, a lot of their wins just come against these NFC opponents who never see the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. I mean, they pound Seattle, they pound Arizona, they pound the Lions, but against the AFC, I mean, they struggle a bit. I mean, they see the Colts a fair amount. Of course, Cleveland and Pittsburgh they lost against. So I think you'll see them struggle way more against these AFC opponents that they see regularly. They'll go and pound NFC ones. Like, I bet they have a pretty good shot to win against San Francisco in a few weeks here.
Yeah, that's a strategic bet. I like that one.
Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Don't really care about this game, although I think Cleveland will get revenge now. I think Deshaun Watson's playing a little bit better. He's not going to cough the ball up twice and throw another pick or whatever he did last time and lose the game. Plus, we know that Kenny Pickett, like we've said, not the answer, going up against one of the best defenses in the league. He also, like Zach Wilson, they should probably just flee down to South America this week. I mean, they're going to have rough weeks. I think they're going to be in for just a tidal wave of Myles Garrett and Von Miller.
Yeah,
I guess for the Bills.
Dude, I agree. I love the Cleveland pick this week. This is honestly one of my favorite picks. Is Cleveland?
I know. Yeah, same here. That 4 is not enough.
No, absolutely not. I think that Pittsburgh's going to get almost shut out. Like, I think they'll score at most 1 touchdown. I think they're going to end up with maybe a 3 or 6 points at the end of the game.
I love this bet too. I mean, I love Pittsburgh. They're so predictable. They come off a bye, they win. They play good defense against bad teams. They win. Now they're definitely due for a loss here. They are due so much for a loss.
I agree.
Vegas at Miami. Miami coming off of a bye. Miami is going to roll the Raiders here. It's, I think 11.5 right now. Might want to bite that down to 10.5 or just let it get bet down to 10.5. Now I take that bet. I like Miami in this game easily.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they haven't really beat any good teams, and I'm not going to say that Vegas is a good team, so
They're not.
Yeah,
they've gone some easy. I mean, they're also playing one of the easiest schedules along with Pittsburgh right now.
Yeah, I mean,
they're taking advantage of it.
Miami is absolutely going to take care of business here against Vegas, bro. They're just going to administer the pipe.
Chicago at Detroit. Justin Fields probably should, hopefully, definitely be back. I think
he'll be back.
Game.
Yeah.
So I like the over in this game, whatever it's at.
Well, that's a good pick.
But Yeah, I mean, I think Detroit's still going to win. They're playing at
Mm-hmm.
home. They're really good at home. I think they still roll, even though Justin Fields will probably play. I still don't fully believe in Justin Fields, even if he
Yeah.
has a performance kind of similar to against the Broncos or against
Mm-hmm.
the Commanders. I don't think he will. Like, I think Detroit's
Yeah.
defense is really good. Like, I think he gets held under 200 yards passing, probably turns the ball over. So,
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. I mean, Justin Fields is not an absolute superstar, and
no. I want the Bears to take Caleb Williams at this
I mean,
point.
that would be awesome if the Bears did that. But I mean, yeah, who can really say what the Bears will end up doing?
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have the best general management, in my opinion.
I
But yeah,
know.
I'm rolling with Detroit here too.
Tennessee at Jacksonville. I love Jacksonville here, bouncing back after an embarrassing win at home. Tennessee coming to town. Jacksonville's been really good against the Titans over the last couple of years with Trevor Lawrence. They are going to destroy Tennessee, and I bet Ryan Tannehill gets back in this game. Ryan Tannehill comes back. I think Will Levis gets another one who probably should flee. I think a lot of these young quarterbacks are in for a rough day.
Is Tannehill back?
Oh, yeah, he was on
Oh,
the
he-
sidelines all suited up. He's a
Oh,
backup
really?
quarterback. He's officially healthy backup quarterback to Will
Oh, he's
Levis.
the backup.
Yeah, I know. It's a joke.
Oh, no way! I did not
It's
realize
embarrassing.
that.
I feel bad for him. He's my
Wow.
guy. I bet Will Levis struggles in this game. They put Tannehill back in.
Yeah, wow, that would be pretty cool for him at least. But I don't. I mean, yeah, Tennessee's not winning this game.
No,
Jacksonville.
even with that.
Yeah, Jacksonville definitely getting the job done.
Chargers at Green Bay. I could see Green Bay winning this game because it's going to be, I mean, I don't even think it's going to be that cold.
Because they're facing Brandon Staley.
Yeah, you just never know with the Chargers. But the Chargers absolutely need this win. This is a make or break for them. Although coming off of that like really emotional loss, you just never know. I mean, a lot of people always say, this Lambeau Field cold, maybe snowy, but it's going to be a good weekend. So I don't think the weather is going to be much of a factor
Right.
here. So I'm taking the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm also taking the Chargers. I just realized we have had all of the same picks so far, which is a little bit wild to me.
Stars have aligned.
Yeah,
Like
wow.
I would not. I would only maybe like consider changing Cincinnati to Baltimore. Everything else, like I am
Yeah.
dead set on.
Mhm. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, not a whole lot for me to say about this game, dude. I think that, I mean, the Chargers have a really good offense and Green Bay doesn't. And so even though defense for the Chargers sucks, I just think
Yeah.
that the Chargers will outscore Green Bay here.
I mean, the Chargers defense has been really good against these bad quarterbacks
That's true.
like Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
And who else? I mean, Aiden O'Connell did struggle a bit. Yeah, Aiden O'Connell actually got sacked 7 times against the Chargers. Next up, Arizona at Houston. Easy pick for me. Arizona rolls.
Bro, that's not an easy pick. That's a crazy pick.
I know. I just can't do it. Like, Houston's yours.
I
They're
understand
not
that.
mine.
But
They are.
but you can still pick them. It's like you're giving me a free game every week, and I appreciate that because I'm behind you in terms of our record right now. But
Right.
I think deep in your heart that you know Houston is winning this game.
Well, I think out of all the games that I have not picked Houston, this is the one that I would be more inclined to pick Houston. Like against Cincinnati, I mean, come on, it makes sense to take
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
I mean, yeah.
When they played the Saints or some of those other games, it's like I felt good in my
Right.
picks. This one, it's a little bit more of a joke pick, I guess, but I'm still gonna roll with Arizona and Kyler Murray being back. I think that they'll have an offensive explosion. I mean, it's not that far of a flight. It's a little bit of a
An
rivalry game. I'd
explosion,
say. I
an
think-
offensive explosion
Just
for the
see,
Cardinals.
The thing is, Houston's like, they're not prepared for what Kyler Murray. I mean, Kyler Murray hadn't played in a long time. He's kind of got a new style of play, I think, that they're not prepared for. They don't have tape on it. And so Kyler Murray comes in, kind of surprises everyone. I think he's the story of the week. I love CJ Stroud. Trust me, I am a fan of CJ Stroud. I love the way he carries himself. He's a really good guy. But at the end of the day, he is a rookie quarterback, and the law of averages will set in. He had 3 turnovers against the Bengals. No one's talking about that because he did win the game. But he's liable to turn the ball over.
Sounds like the law of averages kicked in last week, and so this week he's due for a game with no turnovers.
It's actually a good point. That's a good point. Not gonna lie, it's a good point. But I mean, yeah, if you put a gun to my head, I would take Houston, but I'm gonna take Arizona. I like it. I'm gonna be a little bit ballsy.
All right, dude.
I gotta take some upsets here.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Dallas at Carolina. Dallas rolls. They're gonna destroy the Panthers.
Bro, what's there else? Like, there's nothing else to even say about this game.
Dallas is so good against bad teams. They are going to light the Panthers up. Bryce Young should join those 3 other quarterbacks and flee to South America.
Yep,
He's
dude.
going to get his ass put through the turf.
Yeah, I agree with that, dude. He should just cry up in a little cradle and just
Go back to
bed.
Alabama, dude.
Yeah, back to Bama.
Giants at Washington. I think Washington gets revenge here for that fluky game
Yeah,
that they lost to the Giants in New York a couple weeks ago. I think they get back, and I think they really – I mean, I don't know who's even playing. Daniel Jones is out for the year. Is Tyrod Taylor maybe good to come back yet? Either way, it doesn't matter. Washington rolls.
dude. Howell's gonna take care of business.
I mean,
as he
I don't
usually
see how
does.
they don't. Like, I can't believe they lost that other game to them. That was a real bad blunder. I think they
Yeah.
bounce back at home, take care of business.
Yep.
Tampa Bay at San Francisco. Love San Fran in this game. They're back. This is a great way to go from Jacksonville. Now you're at home against Tampa Bay. Feels a little weird, you know, that you play all the way in Florida, now you go all the way back home just to play up against another Florida team.
Yeah.
But I like, you know, what Baker Mayfield has done. He's had a pretty good year. He's had a better year than Trevor Lawrence, actually. But I still think San Fran is the better team at home, and they should be able to take care of the middling Buccaneers.
Yeah, I like that pick too. I'm taking San Fran here. I actually just wanted to share something funny here. I don't know, that's not exactly relevant, but I saw this like funny little like video the other day, and it said I saw that the U.S. is $33 trillion in debt. They should just put all of it on Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown, and it would just all go away.
That's hilarious, actually.
I mean, like, right? They could totally do that. He's like had a streak of like 20 straight games, something like that.
Well,
I
it
mean,
broke this past week.
oh, well, then the streak is going to begin.
Well, yeah, I would assume he would get in the end zone, but
Yeah.
it is funny that he had that against Jacksonville. Even though they put up 34 points, he did not get into the end zone. So
Yeah.
his streak, and he didn't break the record. I think he tied the record.
Oh, did he
I feel
really?
bad. I think it was like
Oh,
18
dang.
games.
Wow.
Anyways, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, the U.S. needs to find probably a little bit better of a strategy to pay that back.
Yeah.
Jets at Buffalo. We talked about this one. I think Buffalo lights them up. They're angry. They need this
Dude, they
badly,
gotta be so
desperately.
upset.
They're at home.
Yeah.
Jets are a bad team.
I
That
agree
got
with
some
that.
lucky wins.
Yeah, I mean,
If they don't get that win against the Eagles, they are just... I've watched too much Jets football, though. They've been on primetime like 3 or 4 times.
They don't. I mean, dude, it's just because they wanted Aaron to be on.
I know, but you
primetime.
gotta be able to adjust and flex these games, dude. Like, Aaron is
Yeah.
not playing, dude. He's not coming back.
I don't
Like,
think
he's
the
not
NFL ever changes the schedule once
They
it
do.
starts, do they?
They do. Like,
Really?
they flex. Like, they'll move the times of the games. Like, if you
Yeah.
look ahead toward the schedule, a lot of times are TBA because they're waiting to decide. Granted, it is more common to do in later weeks. Like, you'll definitely see it in the final week of the year. They'll intentionally put the best game. Like, right now for week 18, every time is TBA, but they will eventually
wow.
select the best game they deem and make it Sunday Night Football.
Okay.
However, I mean, they have the ability to do that now. I just don't know why they haven't. Aaron Rodgers not coming back. It's gonna be Zach Wilson. I'm tired of watching this kid play because he ain't good.
No, he doesn't do anything, bro.
Seattle at the Rams. I really can't come to a decision here. Of course, the Rams beat Seattle in their own place earlier week 1. I remember calling that upset, but yeah, Matt Stafford coming off the injury. Seattle wants revenge, but it's in LA. But LA doesn't really have a home field advantage. You know, Smith struggles against the Rams. Like, you can just go back and forth all day. I'm gonna take the Rams, I guess, but I don't love that pick at all. Like, I don't know. Didn't they come off of a bye? The Rams have a bye?
Yes, yeah, they did
so
have a Week 10 bye.
I guess that's what I would probably lean on. That as my final reason to take them, but it is tight, dude.
Yeah, no, that's a tough pick for sure. I do like the Rams this week though. Combination of the bye and just I think Stafford is going to be just fine. Like, he's going to come back. Dude, that guy is a trooper. He's just so resilient.
That's
and
for sure.
I mean, I think he's going to come back ready to play, angry that his team's lost a few games. They're just going to want to get a win here.
Yeah, I agree, but I certainly this is one of my least sure games.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, Seattle's a good team. Like, I mean, they're like decent.
Yeah.
So they're going to give the Rams a good game.
Minnesota at Denver. I love Denver here, but another not so great Sunday night game. Denver get back-to-back primetime weeks. Jesus in the morning. Russell Wilson's playing really good. Denver's on an upward trajectory.
Yeah, maybe that's why Denver's in these primetime game slots now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but
This trajectory, bro, they're taking down these good teams.
Denver was supposed to be better, though, this year. Like, I know
Yeah.
they're doing well now, but they were supposed to be much better earlier on. I just think Josh Dobbs, cool story and all, but you're going to struggle against the Broncos defense. This is a tough defense to go up against. I know they gave up 70 to Miami, but they're a completely different team.
Yeah, they're
now.
improving for
and they
sure.
gave up in that game. Like, they literally gave up in that game. They're like, it's like you're playing Madden, you weren't able to quit the game, so you just leave your controller on your desk while you watch YouTube videos.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's what that game was basically.
Yeah. I'm taking Minnesota here, though. I honestly, this is kind of like your pick of the Bengals. Like you said that you're picking Joe Burrow because you like him. And I really like the Josh Dobbs story. Like, I just want to see him win this game. I really think that this is like almost a very evenly matched game.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I think Minnesota's win streak comes to an end here. It's just hard to go out and play
Yeah.
in Denver.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, this is a good one, though. Philly
Super
at
Bowl
KC.
rematch.
Kind of nuts that they were able to rematch, but I think it is because they were, like, seeded the same or whatever.
Mhm.
It was, like, their positioning
in the divisions.
Yeah. I think, actually, I was going to make another point. There was another game, like, because you look at some of these matchups, and you're like, how are they playing? But then you're like, yes, that's why.
Right.
Like, there was Arizona, Houston. Is that? I think that is, yeah, they were positioned the same. That is one of those games. Anywho, I'm going to take Philly here because they're coming. I know both teams coming off of a bye, but Philly, they rise to the occasion in these tight primetime games. Kansas City's receiving core doesn't look great.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, Andy Reid is like almost undefeated coming off of a bye. But I can't bring myself to take Kansas City to beat them again. Like, I just think this is, if you're the script writer for the NFL, you want Philly to win this game. You know, it's a good look. Like,
Yeah,
Philly gets revenge,
action.
right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm going to take Philly. Because mainly they rise to the occasion in these games.
Yeah.
Like, against Dallas, like, they didn't play great, but they rose to the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Against Miami, Jalen Hurts threw a pick six. Doesn't matter. They still win that game handedly.
Right.
You know, they just tend to always, I mean, yeah, you'll catch them on that, like, 3:30 game against the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
They don't play great. But I really do like them here.
Yeah,
But it should be
love
a great game.
I love the Philly pick here, dude. I'm taking them as well.
Good stuff.
Yeah, like, I mean, you did say that, you know, they're both coming off of a bye. Kansas City's rested, but
Yeah.
Philly takes down the good teams, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know
For sure.
they lost the Super Bowl, but they, like, stand up to the pressure. Like you said, they just, like, they deliver when it's time to. Sure, they're losing to some crappy teams, or I guess they only lost to the Jets, but I mean, they're not like Miami where they lose to any time they face a good team. Like, when they're facing good
Miami
teams, they
and the
win.
Cowboys are the same. Like, they play great against everyone
Right.
except the good teams. Philly's the opposite of that.
Yeah.
I really like them in this game, but I mean, obviously we could be wrong. Like,
Right.
it's Kansas City after all.
Yeah, I know.
All right, my favorite segment. Yay, Week 11 start and sits. I'm going to start Terry McLaurin. I think they have a big game against the Giants. I think Rashee Rice is going to get fed the ball. I mean, he's the only guy who looks halfway decent on Kansas City's receiving core. I think they're going to need him, too. They're going to be playing from behind.
Yeah,
They're not going to be able to run the ball that well, so I like him.
good pick.
I'm going to say Jordan Addison again. I just think Denver's defense is that good. Did Stephon Diggs have a great game last night? Not
No.
really. So I think they shut down Jordan Addison.
I like those picks, bro. Those are some good ones. I think that
Thank
we're
you.
going to have all green in this segment this week.
Dude, wouldn't that be something?
That would be wild. I don't think that's
Never
ever
before
happened.
seen.
Yeah, I'm starting Russell Wilson. Love the way he's been playing. He's on that
like that, dude.
bull run, as they say. He's a little bit of a bull market right now. Dude. He had his bear market times, but he's back to the bull. And
Yeah, I
he's-
like that for sure.
He's rolling this week. Second, we're starting Brian Robinson, just like you said, starting Terry.
That's good.
I think Washington is going to have a good game this week against the
Yeah,
Giants.
I would agree with
Giants defense is so bad, and B-Rob's going to get some action. And then lastly, we're sitting George Pickens and Deontay Johnson. Dude, I just don't want to start any Steelers this week. I really don't even think they're going to have a touchdown. I think they're going to end this game with 6 points. And Pittsburgh's not going to do anything against this really solid Browns defense.
I really like that, dude. I would not. Yeah, George Pickens is dead to me after his negative receiving yard day that screwed up our parlay.
Yeah, that's a joke.
So screw him. Gonna sit your ass on the bench.
Yeah.
I'm actually just gonna drop you. Just kidding. Week 11 best bets. I'll let you go ahead with yours.
All right, good stuff. I'm taking Cincinnati at Baltimore over 46. So this is the prime time Thursday night game here. Both of these teams score a lot of points in games usually. I mean, Cincinnati gets at least 3 to 4 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, I like this pick for sure.
Yeah, over 46 seems a little bit low to me. I mean, 23
seems like a 27-24 type of game.
Yeah, that could absolutely be the final score.
Which I think was the score of it last time, in fact.
Yeah, I mean, that totally could be the score again. And I could even see one of the teams pushing into the 30s because, I mean, Cincinnati did this past week.
Right.
Second, we're going to take Philadelphia money line. I mean, they have the best record in the league in their plus money here, so it just seems like a no-brainer to take them at plus 140.
Yeah.
I know that they're facing another one of the best teams, reigning Super Bowl champs, but this is a bet that you
good value.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to turn something down there. And then Cleveland -4, dude, love this pick. This would truly be my best bet of the week, dude. I would be hammering Cleveland -4. They're just going to roll Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's not standing a chance in this game.
I would agree with that. I think I have a better bet for you, though, in a second.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited to hear it. And then the last one here, a little bit of a reversion, but Philly at Kansas City under 46.5. And I know that this one might seem a little bit sketchy.
Yeah, I really wanted to know your reasoning on this one. I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I just was a little surprised.
I mean, yeah, both teams score a lot of points. But, I mean, both teams also do still have good defenses.
Yeah.
And 91% of the public was taking the over, and that seems like too high to me,
That's
bro.
scary, dude. That's some Vegas voodoo magic right there.
If 91% of the public is taking the over, I mean, I'm not betting on anything that 91% of the public's also betting on. You got to roll with the under.
Yeah, dude. I feel like that's almost a bad thing. I look at that now a lot, where the public's betting, and it kind of sways my decision. I'll go in thinking one thing, and then I'll see 99% of the public, and I'm like, whoa, wait, never mind. I like your picks. I think Jacksonville -6.5 right now at home against Tennessee is a better pick than Cleveland. I just think Jacksonville bounces back against this struggling Tennessee team. Mm-hmm. But I do, like I have here, I also have Cleveland -4. I do like that a lot. I'm going to take Arizona +4. I
don't like that one.
I'm going to take them to win. I'm not going to take the money line here. I'm going to take them to cover that 4-point spread. It's kind of a lot of points, though. It's kind of a lot.
4 points is not a lot.
It's a lot of points.
All right.
I think they could lose by 3 or 2.
I think all your other bets are excellent.
I know. You're just the Houston man these days. You are the Texan.
Yeah, that could be my new nickname.
You're going to grow horns, dude. And
I would love that.
You're basically a cow. Anyways, Denver -2 I also like a lot. I like this one up there with Jacksonville and Cleveland. I also like Buffalo. I like favorites this week for the most part, except for Arizona. Yeah, I mean, I just think Buffalo bounces back and kind of goes nuts, and just lets out all their anger against the Jets. Only 5 college picks for you. I do want to shake some off, my failing bets last week. It's hard making some of these bets 5 days in advance. Looking at these lines, the lines change a lot, and I have to make these picks without kind of seeing how the week transpires and not necessarily copy other people, but it's always good hearing other people's perspectives. But these are really raw. I mean, they're straight from the brain. Boston College +2.5. I don't really, again, these ACC teams are kind of nuts, and Pitt had that big win against Louisville, but I saw them in person against Notre Dame. They're not good. They're a bad team. I think Boston College comes in, rebounds after that Virginia Tech loss. North Carolina being 6.5-point underdogs on the road at Clemson. That's a lot of value. I mean, Clemson has twice the amount of losses as North Carolina. I think North Carolina is a better team. They have a way better quarterback. I think there's just a lot of value there. It's kind of nuts that they're that much of a favorite, or that much of an underdog, rather. I really think that line will probably narrow. Washington +2. This is another one that's just kind of crazy to me. Like, you have to respect Washington. Listen to this, dude. Washington's like the number 5 team in the country. They're
Yeah.
10-0 or whatever. They're like undefeated. They're very likely to make the playoffs. Their quarterback very likely is a Heisman Trophy winner. And yet, I know they're going on the road, Oregon State, and they're 2-point underdogs. Oregon State has not a great quarterback. I mean,
Yeah.
they play really good defense, and they've looked pretty good. They lost to Arizona, though. They lost to, who else did they lose to? Oh, I think it wasn't Utah. Who did they lose to? Oh, it was Washington State, who is just completely horrible now. So I like Washington there. I don't think they're going to mess up their season at this juncture. I think they lose to Oregon eventually in the Pac-12 championship. I'm going to take UNLV, Nevada, Las Vegas this week, +3 at Air Force. I think their mentality here is like, we're completely disrespected. Air Force has completely fallen off the wagon. They just lost to Hawaii, who's a horrible team, and yet they were undefeated 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, they've completely fallen off. And then Iowa -3 at home against Illinois. Illinois, dude, you should have seen this. Illinois, their backup quarterback comes in, this random no-name guy, throws for over 500 yards, throwing like 15 yards a clip. Dude, he only threw the ball like 36, 37 times, and he threw for over 500 yards. It was nuts.
That's crazy.
It was this crazy high-scoring game between Indiana and Illinois, like completely uncharacteristic of Big Ten football, which is usually low-scoring and disgusting. And they ended up winning the game. But I just think Iowa shuts them down if they do start this backup quarterback again.
Is Iowa the team with the awesome defense, or is that Iowa State?
Yes, Iowa. Oh, yeah. Iowa is the team with the awesome. I mean, I think Iowa shuts them down hard in this game. It's like that Will Levis game. Will Levis comes in, 4 touchdowns, a lot of yards, perfect game. I think this John Paddock is his name or whatever comes back and has a regression of a week. He still could be good. Like, he still looks fine, but I think Iowa shuts him down in this game at home. And there you guys have it. You have any closing thoughts?
No, I don't think so.
It was a good run for us. Only an hour and 6 minutes this time.
A little bit shorter.
A little shorter than usual. Really compacted the information down because I feel like we still talked a lot. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you as always for listening. We'll have another parlay. We'll be back for the lay action on Thursday. It wasn't even worth making a lay last Thursday, so it kind of worked out for the best.
No, dude, absolutely not. You cannot be betting on those scrappy teams, bro. You cannot be betting on the Panthers, Bears. I didn't even want to. I'm still salty about that the game the week before, Titans and Steelers, man. I didn't even want to bet on the Titans and Steelers. I hate betting on players on crappy teams like that.
The thing is, it should have cashed. Like, if Bryce or if Kenny Pickett didn't overthrow his ass so many times. And let's look at this. I bet we would have taken, DJ Moore did end up having 58 yards. Cole Kmet. We could have maybe brewed up something, but I feel like we would have probably taken Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen did still end up with 42 yards, so maybe we would have done the 40, but still a raccoon game to bet on. We'll be back this week with a much better game for parlay action.
Definitely.
All right, guys. See ya soon for those shorts. Bye now.